All right, we are in the Mountain Valley tournament. It's Monday's qualifying round in the rookie division. I'm in my 22 account. I'll play it first, and then I'll play my other ones later. But I wanted to get a practice round in, so we'll see what happens. And I may practice some of these holes. I may qualify it today, and we'll just have to wait and see. We'll see how it goes. With all of these tournaments, really, we're looking at minus 12 as the minimum score. And on this particular course, the minus 12 is definitely doable. But I'm shooting for minus 14 as like my base. And you've got to get the mid par 4 and the last par 4. The mid par 4 is makeable. I'm not sure what it's going to be like with lower level stuff. So we'll just have to wait and see what the deal is. But my goal is to try and get a minus 14. I'm not sure with these clubs what'll happen, but we'll do the deal. So on hole number 1, there is, if I had some ball guide, there is a rough bump that you can do if you lay it up right here, and you can do it with the old pin placement. But I'm not sure what the new pin placement's going to look like here. And trying to get out here to bring it straight up and get past those trees, that's quite the, with an extra mile 9, a power 3 ball, max top spin, max overpower, you can get out here depending on which way the wind's blowing. Let's say the wind was blowing neutrally, you could get out here. But with a club that hits 12 yards shorter and only has 4 top spin, you're looking at here, and these trees, if you get close up here, the trees could really cause you a problem. But if you're out in the middle or over towards this side, the apex of your shot is going to be right over where the trees are at. But if you get close to it and you're in this area, when you go to hit, you're going to tag those trees. I'm thinking the smart thing to do is to lay it up right here and then just go for the green. Even if I don't have a serious run at it. And I think the deal was, where it used to be, you could run up the hill and you could feed it back down. And where it's at right now, I'm not sure we have that backboard that we can feed back down. And you definitely, if I remember correctly from my scouting report, I think side spin's a really key deal. I'm going to try it with a katana. Just, that gives me some side spin options. It gives me a little bit more power, and just try and lay it up. So we'll see what the deal is. I should. And I have a couple clubs that I can upgrade here. I can upgrade my Viper, and it changes my accuracy just a little, and it gives me some distance, which really hasn't been a problem so far. But 3-2, so I got a Viper 7. So let's check out. Let me go before I get too far into it. Whenever you upgrade a club, it's super important that you, if you're using hand math, that you go get your number. So with a 0 power ball, it's a 2. It went from 2.1 to 2. It was 2-1, 2-4, 2-6. Let's see what it is now. 2-2, 2-5. 2-0, 2-2, 2-5. Now I'm pretty sure if I hit this at level 7, I'm going to be, I think I'm going to be in max club with a power 2 ball. So it'll be, just to make on my notes for my second shot, the second shot in here is going to be with a Viper. And I'm changing the power of my ball, so it's going to change my number. So it's 1-9. I'm going to write this on my notes. Viper 1-9, 2-1. I know I'm not in minimum, but I'll write that number down just in case. 2-4. And I'm not sure if I can take this with my, let me get the other club that I can upgrade to. The Junglist. Getting an extra 10 yards. That is fantastico. Didn't change my accuracy, so we don't have to make any changes, but picking up another 10 yards is always good. With the rough irons, until I can get a rough iron that hits over 107, I'm going to be sticking. The whole idea is rough irons and sand wedges are about saving you, especially when you're in those mid fairway bunkers or in the rough. And that extra yardage is huge. All right. I'm not sure if I can take this with my, let's open up a chest. If I can get it up there with my QB, but I'm going to try and get it up there with my QB. I'm getting an upgrade for the Malibu. I know a lot of people like the Malibu because it's accurate. And it does have some ball guide. Oh, hold on. I just want to upgrade it. A little bit of top spin. Some ball guide. Let me switch that back for the Castaway. Once again, 10 yards farther and an extra 10 topspin. So the whole deal is this club is designed to save me or help me out. And 10 extra yards and 10 extra topspin is huge. Huge. Let's make sure I got a QB. All right, here we go. Here we go. Getting out on the course. Let me start one of those chests. Let me start that. Let me start the Tour 4 one. Not that it takes any longer, but we will do it. Let's see what we can get done here. Let's just go out. My whole goal is not to be in the rough. I'm not concerned about making some of these shots from distance. My whole goal is just to play minimum score, but on those 2 par 4s, we have a shot of getting on the green and one, and it's worth taking that shot. Not enough. I'd really like to, let me switch that ball for a Katana. .39. It's 3.0 per ring. And I'm going to add on some, so I'm going to do 4.5. Hitting it perfect. I would have liked to have stuck up there at the top. Every inch that's rolling back is making this shot worse. It's hard to get, it's hard if you get up there to the top, you can see how steep that hill is. It's very easy to catch up there, and it wants to drift off to the right and then just catches it. I think, especially in this account, I'm going to see a lot of people trying to play down into here, and I've seen more people get into Chet. And what's funny about this hole is when this hole originally came out, Tommy's recommended shot for getting down into that area was to hit through the trees. If you were in rookie. Oh, there's a path that you can hit through the trees. Fuck that. There are several holes in the game where I hit through the trees, but there kind of was a path. See where they're getting? Now they probably cleared the trees there. Excellent. Excellent. That works. Let's see if I got a shot. There's max. There's min. There's mid. So I'm eking at min. I'm at in between. And that wind is problematic. A Viper. It's 2.8 divided by 2.2. I'm going to do 1.4 rings. This is a risky ass shot right here. Hit it great. Just barely. Okay, the deal there is that is a risky way to play it, but the whole thing is that you can get up on the green. So we can get to that spot and get up on the green and we have no fuss, no muss. I'm going to practice. I'm going to go in and practice this hole. The wind will be, I should have practiced it first. We'll start off with the intention that I'm going to qualify today, and then we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to practice this hole one time, because if I can get off there to the side, that might be, what it'll do is if I play the shot that I played, I'm going to be tempted every time to do that rough bump, but that rough bump is stupid narrow. You can go back and rewind the video and you can see how close I was hitting that grate to the right, how close I was to the edge of the sand there. I'm surprised it was so close to the edge of the sand. I'm surprised it didn't clip that lip and go straight up in the air. Let me practice this hole one time and do the shot to the right and see what kind of distance I can get. This would be a great hole if I had even a level 1 big topper, and a level 1 big topper, a level 1 horizon, a level 1 kingfisher. I can't get in. What the hell is the deal with those 3 epics? Like, somebody said I could buy them in the store. You can. They want 500 gems to open up a new, and I am not paying 500 gems to get a level 1 epic. I was under the impression that all of these cards are in chests. I was. Let's go in and practice that at once. Let's go back out. Let's practice. I'm going to practice. I'm just, if nothing else, just take the drive shot. Just see what I can get up there. Practice hole number uno. And I'm going to switch to a power 3 ball. If it takes anything more than a power 3, it's not worth playing it that way. The thing about this is they got to do with this particular club. I'm going to have to do max overpower. Have to bring out a power 3 ball. The last hole, I suppose if I brought out a power 1 ball, I could get in a little bit of trouble there. If you could end up with a red line issue. So I think the other shot, bringing out a katana, is definitely the way to go. And that was with an extra mile and a katana. I'll have to go back and see what kind of spin I put on. I think I put on like a couple of top spin, maybe. Yeah, my opponent's got an extra mile 9 with a power 1 ball. And let's see what kind of distance they can get, because they're going to overpower the hell out of it. Hitting it down the field. They got so much room, it doesn't matter whether they hit that grate. The only thing about hitting it grate to the left is that if you do get up in there, you could be behind those trees if you don't get out there far enough. Two 7. It's 3 per ring. I'm going to do 1 ring and then put the forward power back in it. Get a 1 ring grate to the right. Yo, right. Had to remember which side was which. Get my directions right. And I am able to clear the trees, but if you had a bad day there, you could get behind them, but you can clear it. So that's good news. That's probably going to put me in my runner. If I had some ball guide with my runner, that club would really work good, because there is another rough bump right here to come at the cup. This is not my typical, this is an I rough bump, and I really kind of like T rough bumps. But with an I rough bump, you hit it great to the right, you miss. You hit it great to the left, you're in the shit. So you have to hit it perfect. With a T rough bump, depending on which way the wind's blowing, there is a little bit of fudge room. You could catch a great to the left or the right and still make it. I'm in my backbone. There's Max. I'm in mid backbone. Mid backbone is 2.8 divided by 1.9. I'm going to just do a straight up adjustment, which is 1.5 rings. We'll see how far off that is. There's 1.5. Oh! I kind of like that shot, but the deal is it can go either way. It's almost a 50-50 in my mind on that shot, because the first shot with these clubs, here's the deal. Let me go back and we'll look at the hole and talk about it real quick. Let's go look at that hole. So the thing about laying it up right here is there is a risk. Okay, you really, and this terrain right here is like this. Here's A and here's B. Here's A, and it's coming down and then it's coming up to that sand, and you're in this big ass bowl. So if you're hitting right here, what does it want to do? It wants to drive straight across. It doesn't want to get an upward bounce. And so that's why you're pushing it forward, and it's the ball guide's doing weird stuff that it wouldn't do if you were out here on the flat. And so it is possible, if you don't make a good adjustment, that you're going to hit this in a wrong spot where you'll get that upward bounce and you'll get more carry, and you could end up getting into the sand. And you want to be fairly close to it. I actually, from where I was at, it would have been better to just try and lay it up right out here in front and have the straight through shot. I had plenty of room. I think minimum was here, maximum up here, so I was less than mid, closer to min. So if I laid it up a little bit more, it would pull this shot back and put me more towards like mid club, and this might be a little bit safer than trying to get over into this area. With the old pin placement, it was like on this trajectory, and so it was it was okay to be up here. But with the new pin placement, it might be better just to be conservative and lay it up right here and not get involved with this stuff, because if you get caught in this sand with lower level shit, you're in big ass trouble. You might be able to make this island, and then depending on what club you have, if you could bridge the gap and get over here and just like lay it up, you might be but otherwise you're just laying it up here. The max overpower shot can go south just because you're doing max overpower. And if you catch a 2 or 3 ring great with a club that hits 3 per ring, you're going to be way off target. My brain says this is why we have power 5 balls, because you could bring out a power 5 ball and you wouldn't have to overpower it, and you just shoot it with maybe just very slight overpower, just enough to shake but not enough to make the needle go any faster, and you could put it in the same spot I put that max overpower power 3 shot in. So that's another way to go out, and this is why we save our good balls and we don't play with those balls out there, because this might put you in the right spot, and there's no risk there. You're just hitting it down the field. I think I might try just the power 3 ball. I'm going to erase the katana and do the overpower shot to get out there, because I do think I've got a pretty good shot at it with that backbone. And I know me, I'm going to be tempted every time by this rough bump. The whole goal there is just get in front, and you can try and work the ball back to the cup. Either stop and run at it. There is a little bit of a backboard that'll float you down. It's not as good a backboard as when the hole was in its original pin placement. I'm going to put tighten. Now where this shot will hurt you is on days that you have a headwind, because the headwind here is really going to kill the ball. It's really going to lay it down, so you could end up being quite a bit short. So if there's a big headwind day, it might be good to have this shot in your bag and switch to this shot. I'm going to have to decide which way I want to go on that. You have options. That's the key thing there. Don't ever let anybody There are some holes we have a way that we play them, but there's lots of different ways to play. Hole number 2. I'm going to qualify here. What is hole number 2? What is hole number 2? I don't remember holes. I remember how to play these holes. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this hole. You really, because of where your red line's out here, let's talk about if you've got mid, upper level stuff. Where your red line's out here, you really, with the original pin placement, you need a 3 side spin to get over there. And unless you had a special ball, like a special 0 power or 1 power ball that had 3 or more side spin, a katana would really only work on days where we had a headwind or an absolutely pure side wind. Because you're like right at your red line in order to get into this area. And if you bring out a ball that's not 3 side spin, you'll have to pinch up so close to this that it is super dangerous. The problem with this type of rough bump is if you're 2 rings off and you're getting your bounce and it's coming over and you're doing the deal, when you pinch up right here, if you hit to the right, you take the risk of hitting the fairway, and you had to put topspin on it in order to get to the cup, and you're just going to roll off, and you're either going to be on the sand. You're going to be on the sand on this hole. If you hit it to the left, you've got to go this much farther in order to clear the rough to get out, and you'll invariably get caught in the rough right here. There's a good chance that you'll get caught in the rough. So the only thing that works is perfect. I did come on this hole the other day with my 77 account. And if you get into the spot with the new pin placement, because the new pin placement's like over here, if you get into this spot right here and you put on a 5 side spin ball, you can get to the cup. But it takes all 5 of the side spin, and you still need a 0 or a 1 power ball. Because a 2 power ball, even if you had a 2 power ball and it would get there, it's not, you can't, once again, you can't do it if there's any tailwind. With the new pin placement, you can try and bounce. I mean, I hate bouncing over traps. We're putting this trap into play. Anytime I can eliminate traps. When I first started playing, and if you've watched my videos for a long time, I was a big fan of coming onto these par 3s like this, because this par 3s, look at all of the fucking movement that's on this hole. All these little moguls, and you're cruising along, and your ball's going, and it's moving off, and if you get your speed just right and it's going, it can get changed by all of this stuff. If you're going too fast, it'll blow through it. This is a messy hole. And over here, for the original pin placement, there's a funnel. If you can find it, there's a funnel that leads right to the cup. But I'm not sure with the new pin placement whether that funnel's there. And so my thing back in the day was bring out a backspin club. Bring out a club that has got backspin and start off on this side of the sand trap. Take the sand trap out of play. Take the trees out of play. Take all this shit and rough out of play. And backspin it onto the green. Make your putt and move on to the next hole. If you get lucky and it goes in on the backspin shot, woo! But if not, take the birdie. That's a win. And move along. So we'll have to see how this hole plays out with these low-level clubs. I'm pretty sure I can just take this with I'm gonna take a Quasar just in case I do need some little semblance of spin. A Quasar. And either one of these bags will work because they're both the same shit clubs. The only difference is the driver. And if I had a big topper, I'd have 3 bags, and a big topper would be in the third one. I might put a big dog in that bag. The whole thing about the big dog is I like the big dog, and there's tournament holes that you got to have a big dog, especially if you got a lower level account. And the big dog is the club. It gets you on the green so you can make your putt, get your eagle, get your birdie, and move along, little doggy. But in one-on-one play, there's so many of these shootouts that are on par 3s that it can hamper you just a bit. It's a great club, but when you're trying to get less than 2 yards away from the cup, and that is exactly what I'm talking about right there. You can just backspin it. Now a Sniper 10 has lots of backspin. And believe it or not, my Viper doesn't have as much. What's the deal with that? What's the deal? You can see how weird the bounces are there, where if it's on one of those little one of the little bowls, and it hits on the upward side, it gets that really big bounce. There's Max, there's Min. I don't have enough backspin to backspin me to it, so I will have to play with my backbone. I really like to take those out of play, but I guess I'm not going to be able to today. My max backbone is 1.7, so it's 3.2 divided by 1.7. I'm going to just do a straight up adjustment. It's 188. And it is way the hell downhill, so I'm going to do 2. 2-1. Take that. Getting it perfect. That's got to be at least that's got to be every bit of a 30% adjustment. And that was with a Quasar and a backbone. Now once I get my notes set for this and I know what clubs I'm using, then I'll go into Golf Clash Notebook and I'll pull up the numbers. And that was at Max Club. I'll pull up the numbers for my clubs with bigger power balls or different power balls and make sure that they're right. If you're using the app, you'll just have to change. You'll just be able to change your ball. No fuss, no muss. All right, hole number 3. What is hole number 3? I'm assuming it's a par 5. It's a par 5. All right. This is another hole that a big topper is. I am just so bummed that I don't have a big topper. Depending on your clubs, and even with a power 3 ball, like getting over to this side right here and starting off on this side to try and come forward, I'm not sure if my extra mile's got the oomph to do it with a power 3 ball, but with a big topper, even though I'm losing some distance off the drive, I got 100% topspin. I can start off on this side and not have to do any overpower and just run it up there. There's spectators over here. If you hit over into this area in Rookie, there's spectators. You can hit it up into this area right here, but think about it. We got to go to this area and we got to cover this kind of, and we don't have a lot of curl, and you'd have to bring out a ball that's got some side spin and your curl, and there's a really good chance you're going to end up in the rough right here, which is no bueno. We'd want to be out here and have this straight up shot coming at the cup. But if we can clear these trees and get out anywhere on this side of that line, we got a really, really, really good shot, a straight up shot at the cup. So let's see what we can get done with let's see what we can get done once again with which way is the wind blowing? It's helping us. We'll take a Titan, the king of balls. Yes, sir. And I will say, one of my viewers pointed out to me that when you're buying, if you're buying balls, that the Katana and Titan, 180 for 9 balls for a Titan, 180. I've been playing this game for 6 years, and I'm sure I've noticed that before, but never really dawned on me that they are the same price. So which one is, I guess we're getting the deal on the Titan. That's why it's the king of balls, because we're getting a little bit of a deal on it, because it's 180 for a Titan, and how much is it for a Kingmaker? I never really pay attention to that. 650 for a Kingmaker, so we are getting a good deal on the Titan. And I'm not sure that the Kingmaker is worth $650. I buy them, but I'm not sure it's worth it. Hoard them. Do not use your special balls during one-on-one play. If you feel like you need to use a Navigator or a Quasar and you're playing in Tour 3 or Tour 4, you need to drop down. Tour 5, you need to up your ball. You need to drop back down and work on your clubs to get your clubs better, because you should be able to play all the way to Tour 7 with a Marlin. It's a skill deal. All right. I'll get off that soapbox. I'll take my little tin hat off. Let's make sure I picked the right stuff here. I did. And I'm not doing any I'm not trying to do any adjustment. I know on some of these holes I should, like when you're way downhill and you can't get to your ring set, I know that we should be adding on some wind, but I'm not. Today, I'm just trying to hit my clubs, whatever their numbers are. Today's whole goal, I'm not worried about making any shots today. I'm not worried about what I'm focused on today is what do I need to do on the drive to get me into the right spot so that I have that second shot. Once I can figure out what I need to use and what I need to do in order to get me to the spot, then I can start working on the second shot. Because it doesn't matter if you, oh yeah, I worked out my elevation, I got it all down, and you were playing to the left, and then you're like, well, you know what, I'm going to start playing to the right, and they're just pissing off the spectators. Maybe the spectators don't show up until later on. You do have a shot from right there, though. You do. I'm going to put on one hole left, 2-6. I'm going to do one ring. It's 3.0 per ring, but I'm going to do a whole ring. And then I'm going to just push it straight forward. Put that little teeny bit of power back on it. Hitting it perfect. Now, if we had any headwind here, it would really kill that ball. And it would really kill it. My opponent's got a big dog. Now, I like a big dog, but I'm not sure in this situation that a big dog is the best club. Like, you got to have one that's got a little bit better ball guide. The big dog has shit tons of tools. It comes with backspin, it comes with curl, it comes with lots of topspin. It's a big hitting club. We'll see what my opponent's going to do. Perfect is what they're going to do. Perfect. For us at this point, we're not really concerned about the accuracy. We have to make a wind adjustment anyways, and all of our clubs suck, so I'm not too worried about the accuracy. Man, that's the thing about hitting over there is that is grim. So it's 3 divided by 1.7. I am lucky that I have that shot. It's 1.76 rings. Oh, I might have hit everything great today. I don't know that I would. I'm going to have to think about that. I really don't want to have to hit it over there to the side that my opponent did. I think coming to the cup, unless I can pick up just a titch more distance. See if my opponent can get this. Yep, you have to pull it more to that side. And they are right on the right-hand edge. If they hit right, they're missing it. Perfect. Watch. Whew, right in. And it was going fast, so if they would have hit that great to the right, it would have missed. Close. If you got a low level count, it's worth playing on Monday and not qualifying and using it as practice. The deal is if you're really practicing it, you will go through a few balls. Okay, now we're starting to get to the lipness tests. Hole number 4. What is hole number 4? Now, with my upper level count, I played right here because the pin's really not, I think it's just like moved forward. But I'm not sure I got enough spin and enough stuff to do the deal to get me there. In the past, I've played, I hate putting sand traps into play, but there is a shot from here and you could bounce over and run it up. You got to watch your second bounce. Your second bounce is critical because it's easy to clip that rough, and you're in big ass trouble if you clip that rough, because it literally can go backwards and get into the sand. I'm going to try, in my 77 account I played from right here, but I'm not sure. There is a rough bump that you can do right here, but these rough bumps are, these eye rough bumps are not my, I like the T ones like on that first hole. That's why I would have a hard time walking away from it if I had that shot. These eye rough bumps are dangerous. This is the hole if you're playing from the Masters team. My buddy Kyle says you do a sand bump. You bump it out of the sand with the old pin placement. I'm curious if that's the same thing with the new. Let's try that same bag, and we'll bring a Quasar. I'm hoping that between now and when this tournament starts, I can pick up a big topper and a freaking Horizon. Although I need to get the Horizon, I think, to like level a couple levels up before it really gets. Yeah, I don't have enough spin right there, so I am gonna have to bounce it over. Am I gonna bounce it over? Sheesh. Blue ring off. 3.6 backbone. It's 3.6 divided by 1.7. Straight up, it's 211. I'm going to do 2.2 because I'm pretty sure we add some on this. We'll see. I need to do a little bit of curl to bring it back to the cup. Hitting one ring great to the left. It's the great day. It's a great day. You see how close that second bounce was to clipping that. If you got to make sure you put, and the deal there is that the rough is running like this, and your bounce is here, and the pin's over here. So we're putting curl on it, so the curl is arcing over here, and you can actually curl it and clip the rough. Whereas if you just hit it straight, you would have missed the rough, but you would have been way off on the cup. And this hole right here, everything on this side, everything over here is just rolling down. So if you blow past the cup, it's really easy to end up off the green. Real easy. You want to stay up here on the flat. Left-hand side's flat. Everything on the right rolls down the hill. We'll see if my opponent got their bounce right, or if they're going to clip the rough. They put more curl on theirs than I did on mine. Right there. And they started it off further ahead, which is good. Good. If and when I get in a Guardian in this account, holes like this that can be very dangerous for these low-level accounts, you can come up here with a Guardian and you can backspin that fucker right to the cup. Just backspin it onto the green, take your putt, and move along. Move along, little doggy. Let's see if they make it. Perfect. Right in the hole. Right in the hole. Alright, hole. Is this the hole? Man on the back. Hole number 5. Okay, this is the first of the holes that I really... The other holes, I just want to play minimum score, but this hole right here, Here's the thing. I can't get way like over in here and try and get up on the green and all that shit. But what I can do, what I'm pretty sure I can do, is get my ball to start rolling down this hill. And if I can get my ball to start rolling down this hill, it'll end up down here on the bottom. Now, you don't want to just barely dribble onto it, because that won't help. And you don't need to get a big bounce to get in there, but you do need to catch it with just a titch of speed, because this hill right here is like this. And so if you can roll over the top with just even a little bit, you know, if I can bounce my first bounce right into here, there's a good chance it's going to roll down just from gravity and roll down to the bottom and wash out right here. I still have a shit ton of work to get done from there with this count. And I'll have to hit this shot perfect, because I'll be using my Firefly. I'll have to hit it perfect. But I got a shot, because you do not. I'm telling you right now, I will have a better shot of making this rough shot than I would have hitting from up here. This shot up here, you will never see me demo unless I screwed up the drive and ended up here, because this, from up here down to the cup, blows. It is way, way downhill. Way downhill. With a low level account, with an upper developed account, everybody's trying to bring, let's get a little bit bigger, see if we can get the whole thing in the deal. So draw a line from the pin to the tee box. Let's see if we can get a straight line. We're even close to a straight line. We're doing this line right here. So we're trying to start off, people are trying to start off in this area right here, and then curl it around the tree and try and bringing it over here to try and get up on the green. What I want to do is start off from here and draw this straight line right here, and I want my ball, I want my last, because I don't care if I'm really going towards the sand. If I catch this green, it will drift towards the sand, but it'll just wash out. I'm hoping that it'll just wash out. So I want to get a straighter shot. I'm not going to try and put a lot of curl on it to get it to go over there. I just want it to go long and straight. I know with upper developed counts, this is a power 5 ball shot every day, all day. Especially if you have a headwind day, because then you're fighting against the headwind and doing that. And so we'll have to see. If you have any of the Topspin boost balls in your bag, this would be a great opportunity for a Topspin boost ball like this Power 5 Topspin boost ball. Will definitely enhance our and the weekend round. This may be exactly what I do, is bring this ball out right here, but I only have 3, so we got to play this hole 5 times, so I don't have enough for all the rounds, but I do have enough for the weekend round. And that is about the best that I got. Let's practice this once, just to see what our options are, and be able to take our time. I'm 100% sure no matter what, I'm going to have to do max overpower. Also, those trees that are over there on the right hand side, there's some trees that are on the island that we're trying to get around, and then there's the trees on the other side of that. It is, if you shank a shot to the right on the drive, you can get behind those trees, and don't try and hit through them. Hit to the left and try and catch that hill. Put curl on it and try and catch that hill, and it'll just roll you down to the bottom. It'll give you a good shot to recover. Instead of trying to hit through these trees, shoot over here and catch that hill and just roll down. I have no fucking clue what my opponent's doing. And they moved it the wrong way with the wind. I have no idea what they just did right there. I have no idea. No idea. And are they shooting for the top? I think they're just trying to lay it up on the top. Which is good. Get to the right spot. Lay it up. Get to the right spot. I was hoping they'd get to the right spot so you could see what I'm talking about. But even with where they're at right there, you're going to be able to see the deal. Let's make sure we got practice hooked up there. A 3 side spin ball would definitely help. Let's bring out a Kingmaker. Kingmaker, Heartbreaker. And that's it. That's it. It's as good as it gets. 3.2. It's 3.0 per ring. I'm going to do 3 and a little. Let's think about this before we do that. Let's think about it. Let's think about what it would look like with a Power 5 ball. Yeah, a Power 5 ball is going to have to be the way to go. Power 3 ball, I'm going to end up clipping this rough right here, right where my opponent's at, and I may not get to the hill. Now, a Power 4 ball might get me there on days when we have neutral wind or tailwind, but on a headwind day, it could hamper me big time. I'm going to switch back to the Power 3 ball and see. I'm going to take that shot with the Power 3 ball just so that I can see what it looks like with the Power 3. We'll bring out the right stuff. And that is just no bueno. I'm going to end up right where my opponent was at. I caught the slide. And you can end up down there. I caught the slide and was able to bounce over that, which is good. You saw what my opponent's shot looked like when they're up above. It sucks from up above. This shot right here is actually, you know, you're in the sand. It's not the best shot in the world, but it's a whole lot better. I actually believe that the sand shot, you have a better shot of making this sand shot than you do from making the shot up above. Chip in to draw. Where am I at in my club? Hey. There's max, there's mid, and I'm in the quarter range. I'm in the mid range. I always want to practice these shots. 3.5, and I'm at mid castaway, which is 6.4 divided by 6.4. It's a half a ring. It's 0.54. So there's 5. There's the 4. Hitting it perfect. Pulled it back just a little, but that was right on track. All right, we got that going for us. This is a hole we really need this hole. I only have 5 of those, so I'm not sure I want to do that right here, right now. So I'm just going to bring out another Kingmaker and take the same shot I just took. I was kind of surprised how the bounce through was through there, because the bounce through was not like anything that the ball guide was showing. Like I cleared that rough area by a country mile. 2.1 divided by 3. 0.7 rings. .7 rings. Let's get lined up with the wind. One ring great to the right. That'll put me right dead center into the middle of the trees. And I will have the shot from up above, which is definitely no bueno. Now see, you're behind the trees. If you get in a situation like this, hit the ball off to the left. Get down to the bottom so that you have a shot at it. This will be a great experience for the curl. I'm not sure. What club am I using here? I'm not sure what kind of curl I'll have in my club. We'll test it out first. We'll test out the curl and see how much curl I got, because I'm not going to be able, I don't think I'll be able to go straight at the cup. I'll have to take it off to the left and then try and curl it around. And they're going to be even worse into the trees, unless they were trying to hit through them. And they got extremely lucky. They're going to go all the way to the bottom. Oh, you better roll out from behind that tree. Yes. Whew. You got lucky there, bro. And you got unlucky. I will tell you, in the real world, I have my putter. I would bring out my putter and play with it. That's all the curl I got. Just a smidgen of back. I'm going to put it as close to the tree as I can. 2-4. I'm at max Renner, and Renner is 2-4 per ring, so it's one ring. And I am way the shit downhill, so I mean I should be doing like a 30 or 40%. So there's one ring. I'm just going to do the one ring. And I know I hit that 7,000 rings great, but who's counting? The whole goal when you get behind something like that is just to get up on the green and recover. Don't be dicking around trying to get super aggressive. Don't be a hero. Don't get all caught up in the in your adrenaline pumping. That, oh fuck, I'm caught behind the trees and now your adrenaline's pumping and I'm gonna have to get it. I'm gonna drop a shot. All you got to do is get up on the green, make your birdie. This is a birdie hole with an eagle opportunity. Now I'm gonna be really. I can't believe that there are ball guides going through the trees like that, and I wouldn't trust that for a heartbeat. That's amazing. Amazing. I have my putter is an old school putter, flat blade old school putter, and I use it for hitting out of trees. I live in an area where there's shit tons of trees, and a lot of our golf courses have lots of trees around them. And if I get caught underneath the trees, if I end up in the trees, I use my driver. Or my putter. It's basically a 1-iron, and I've had it shafted, so it has a little bit longer shaft on it than you'd normally have on a putter, just so that I can get under the trees. And sometimes you can get under the trees and you take a full swing, and sometimes you can't, but I can pound that ball out from underneath those trees with that putter. That's the one thing about this game, is that we have clubs that are designated for certain areas. So you get into that and you're like, hey, I just use my putter and just keep it low to the ground and just pop it over there. Here you don't have that option. Hole number 6. That right there is a hole that we got to get. And if it means bringing out a bigger ball in the weekend round so that we can get up there, then that's what it means. And I have 3 of those Power 5 balls, and that means I could take one practice shot to kind of get my spin and stuff down and then go for it. But this is a hole right here that we need to get aggressive on, because we don't want to get aggressive and end up behind this shit where me and my opponent were at. I wasn't in too bad of a spot, but my opponent was definitely screwed. They got lucky that they got out from behind that tree, because they would have had to really hit it this direction to do it. But this is a hole we definitely need to pick up. We want to give ourselves every opportunity, and if that means bringing out something big, then that means bringing out something big. I'm not sure on this hole what the look's going to look like, because I know with a 3 power ball with my Extra Mile 9, I don't have to put on, like, I believe it's a max overpower shot, but I'm only putting on like 2 topspin. So I have 4 here, so I might be able to get to the same spot. And there is a rough bump going to the cup, and if I remember correctly, it's at minus 10%. And here I won't know what the ball guide is. I'm not going to be able to see it with my Viper. I'll have to play this hole with my sniper and write down what my spin was so that I can come and play it with my Viper and at least know kind of what I need, but we'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it. And I'm going to play it with a Titan, the king of balls. And I have 42 of them, so I got that going for me. All right, let's play it. Let's play it. And I am sure with this account, I'm going to have to use all that wind. If we had a headwind day, it would be difficult, maybe. You can in one-on-one play it over here to the left and then bring it around this way to the cup, because it is hard when you bring out a lower level stuff to try and bridge the gap to get over to the other side. It can be difficult. And they did it easily. They must have big stuff. They must have big stuff. I'd be curious to see what the Power Zero ball does here as far as like where your red lines are at. Yeah, see, I'm going to have the wind help me in order to get over. 3/6. It's like 1 1/5. Let's put the forward moving wind back on. $7,000 rings straight to the right. This is those times that you're glad that you brought a Power 3 ball and you're like, hey, you didn't need to bring Power 3 ball, but when you screw up and you end up clipping like that, you'll be happy that you brought a bigger power ball. Are you going to do a no move, no adjustment, no nothing? Just take the shot, max backspin? Wow, I have no idea what they didn't adjust for the wind. Did they look at their shot? Like, I have no idea where this is going to go. Like, I guess they did. I guess it's the no move, no wind adjustment, hitting it good. I have a shot here. Do I have a shot? I do. I still do. I do. Times 3.6 divided by 2. No, it's actually 1.9. 1.7 rings. .7, hit it straight forward. See if we can hit 1 perfect. Wow, we can't hit 1 perfect. It's more than 2 topspin, and I only have 2 topspin, so the rough bump might not work. This would be another hole that it would be good to have a Guardian. Guardian hits farther than the Viper. I'm not sure when it's low level if it hits farther than the Viper, but at some point it's one of your bigger hitting woods. It doesn't hit quite as far as the, I think it's a yard or 2 short of being a big dog in a Cataclysm. That, my friends, is no fucking bueno. I thought I was a bad putter. I guess there's more than me out there. In the hole. In the hole. and it takes more than 2 topspin. Part of that too is that I couldn't pinch up. I didn't have enough room on that second shot because of where my red line was. I could get a little closer. I think I was probably a good 3 rings off of the front, but if I had more room on my red line, if I would actually hit it out here where I wanted, I would have had more room on my red line where I could have gotten, especially with the wind today, I could have got like a ring and a half away to try and get more use out of my topspin, but it might take more than the 2 to get me there. The whole goal on this hole is eagle. I'm not, if I got an Albie on this hole, and this hole has never been a big Albie hole for me, even though I've been in the right spot here and had this shot, I have made Albies on this hole. And like I said, it's -10 to the cup, and I have made Albies, but it's not like it's the Island Par 5. Hole number 7. Hole number 7. I really don't like playing on this side. I actually like to play from up here. Let's get rid of all of this shit. Let's get rid of all of that, and let's just be playing on the green. But we'll see what I can do with this. The thing I really don't like about this is it is literally like this. So if you hit right where you were aiming and you had your ball guide all set up, you're probably going to go where you were aiming. But if you hit low, it's going to dive. And if you hit high, it's going to go this direction. And I see a lot of people that play over here end up in this sand because if they hit too high on that hill, they didn't adjust it properly, they're going to end up bouncing up and ending up in the sand, and that is no bueno. So I don't want to put all of this stuff into play. I want to take all of this stuff out and play on the green. I think I can get this done. I think in my main account I play it with a katana, so that way you can get up in there. Plus it gives you, it's a hole that you definitely having access to some side spin might help. We'll see. If I get out there and everything works out good and I don't need that side spin, then I don't need it. And I know we make an adjustment on this hole as well. It's probably like 10 or 20%. Or somewhere in between. But I know there is an adjustment. I'll just play it straight up to start off with, just so that we can see what it looks like with just a regular wind adjustment. You can see how steep that hill is where my opponent's at. So if you play from over there, you really take the risk of, they got 5 backspin and 3 side spin. I don't think I have. And they eyeballed it, and they're doing a bunch of curl. Hey, dude, you didn't really need to do all that curl. The ball looked like it was going towards the cup. Now you're going to curl it where? Like, and if we were playing the old pin placement, damn, that would have almost been in the hole. Yeah, we don't need to do that anymore, dude. Your ball guy was going towards the cup. You know, it looks to me like it'd be better to be long. You're up there on the flat where the pin's at than it is to be short. Viper. And I'm right in between clubs. That sucks. That sucks. Let's think. Let's bring out a Marlin. (3-1) Viper. Viper is 2.0 per ring. It's about a ring and a half. Hitting it perfect. No, I needed to put a little bit of curl on mine to get caught up on this hill and get over this hump. If I could have got a little bit more to the right, it would have rolled down this hill, and it looks like it does somewhat funnel down towards the cup, at least through this gap right here. With a Power Zero ball and all of the spin on there, that works on headwind days, but on tailwind days, that shot's going to be... do they have a -1 ball? Or I'd have to bring out something really big in order to get, let me think about my clubs there. That might be a hole to bring out my Goliath. For freaking sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's look at my Goliath and see, because it does hit. When it gets upper developed, it's the biggest hitting wood, or excuse me, long iron in the game. So that means that where my Viper ends, all clubs minimum is the same. The ball, depending on what ball you have, it'll push that line forward or back, but the distance is the same. Okay, the maximum, your max red line's different depending on the club, on how far the club can hit, but the minimum's the same. And with your wood, my backbone, I've got this huge ass red line because it only hits up to this point. So the minimum that your woods hit is 130, 135. I think it's 135. And a Goliath maximum hits 135. So this line's just like 1 millisecond you're on the wood side, 1 millisecond you're on the long iron side. But since my my backbone only hits, what does it hit? It's got to be like 120 something, right? You'd think 120 something, 120, 15 yards back. So now I got this big ass red line there. So with the Goliath, you can see where my red line was out with my Viper with a 0 power ball. If I brought out a little teeny bit bigger ball, I would be able to take that with my Goliath, and the ball guide's not any better, and I got tons of top spin. The backspin here is a little hurting, but if I could start back a little bit with the Goliath, I'll be able to make that. I should be able to make that very easily. I'm going to make sure that I put my notes for that hole to switch up. What hole was that? What hole was it? Forgot where I was at. Let's open up these chests. Man, 44 gems to open up it. I'm not sure it's worth. I'm never sure whether these chests are worth the extra oomph. What hole was that on? That was on hole number 7. There's 4. There's 5. There's 6. There's 7. Goliath. And I'm going to bring out a katana. That gives me a little bit of room to maneuver around. Hole number 8. This one we have to get, and I definitely want to practice this hole. So let me think strong and hard about what I got. I don't have a lot of options here. That's got 44 curl. Let me switch the bag. 44 versus 53 with the quarterback. The 53 is probably going to work fine. So I want to take this with my quarterback. And I need to bring out a bigger power ball to get me up into the spot. And bring out a Kingmaker. Heartbreaker. I don't know unless I bring out something really big. I don't know that I have. Yeah, I don't think the power 2 ball's got enough to get me up there. We'll see. We'll see. Let's practice this hole one time. This is a hole we have to get. Like, there's just no two ways around it. We got to get it. Now with my upper developed account, I can use I think I was using a katana, and I was pulling it back from the red line. There's a spot. When I played it the other day I didn't have to do the max, I didn't have to do max curl on it. I did like half curl. I was thinking of this account when I was playing my 77 account, trying to think of like how could I set this up and still make it possible with my low level account. A lot of people, you're going to see a lot of people hitting through the trees here. And I am not a fan. And if I remember correctly, it's like one backspin. Three rings off. 3-3. My quarterback is 1.7 per ring, so I'm going to do 2 rings. And +1. Hitting it perfect. Oh, and I clipped that tree. I need to be a little bit farther forward from where I was at, and with that club, with the being 10, 12 yards, well, where it's at right now versus a maxed out quarterback, I'm probably losing maybe 20 yards. It's got the curl. I need a 4 power 3 side spin ball, and I'm not sure I have them. And I repeat, I am not hitting through the trees. Not that you can't make it hitting through the trees. Hitting through the trees on the left-hand side, I tried that when this hole first came out, trying to bring it around on the left-hand side, and I ended up in the sand more often than not. Hitting it perfect. Almost. Almost. This is another hole. Well, if I had a big topper right here, I'm going to still be in the same distance deal. It does have more curl on it, but I am going to be in that same distance deal. I'm bringing out a bigger power ball that doesn't have the side spin. I don't think it's going to help me. I really need because of how much curl I have, I really need the side spin. Side spin doesn't take effect until the ball touches the ground. So it's not going to be represented in your ball guide, but it will take effect when it hits the ground and make the ball jerk around the corner, and with a little bit of backspin on there, it makes it jerk even harder. I was hoping that I could clear that tree, because in this account it may be one top spin. It's very little spin, and if you get that wrong, it's easy. If you do get down there, it's easy to blow past it or end up a little short. Let me think about my ball inventory here. What do I got for side spin? I just got 3. What do I have for power? I do have a power 4 ball that's got 2 side spin. And this may be the ball that I have to use. Just to get me forward just a little bit so that I can get in front of that tree. That's not a shot that I really want to have to do any overpower on. You already have so much shit going on that shot, and it's all got to be perfect in order to get you down there on a consistent basis. That now applying overpower or putting wind back in is a problem. So I think on that hole I'm going to play this ball right here, which is the East Lake ball. East Lake ball. Alright. We'll try that once as the rounds go along. What is the last hole? Are we on the last hole? Are we on the last hole, or are we on hole number... Which hole are we on? I'm on hole number 8. I practiced that hole. That was the deal. That was the deal. Whew, I practiced it. All right. Let's see if that ball will work. East Lake ball. I do have... I'm going to... If I can get it to work right here, we'll... all right. We'll see. We'll see if we can get that to work. Just a little teeny bit farther forward. Now the other way I could do that, let me think about. There's another way to skin this cat. Let me think real hard here for a second. So where my red line was coming out from here, so I got a red line that's running along this area. I was 3 rings out, and when I applied the curl, it brought me right into the tree. Now the other way I could do this is to pull out farther this way. So I left myself 3 rings of separation from this rough transition, and what I could do is pull out 5 rings, which puts me on this trajectory, which opens up a little bit more of a gap, so that when my curl's coming through, it opens it up a little bit right here, but it will affect my run on this side. So I think I put 1 backspin on there, and I probably need to put on maybe 1. What I'm going to do is put on all the, I'll put on 2 topspin. Let me try that one more time with the Kingmaker. Since we're in these rounds, let me try that one more time with a Kingmaker and see if I can get that Kingmaker to work. Because I really, if I don't have to bring out something, if we can get it done with a normal ball that we can normally buy in the store, then let's get it done. Because there are a lot of holes that a Power 4 ball with 3 accuracy or 3 precision would be really helpful. I'll tell you where these balls are really helpful is when you're playing in those rounds where like you're being really risky and there's a good chance you're going to end up in the rough or the sand and have to take the money shot from the rough or the sand. This precision, it will really help you. Let's try it. Let's try that with that. All right, here we go. Here we go. Times whatever the wind is, and I'm going to add on 10%. Well, the way the wind's blowing today, I'm just going to take it straight up. They're trying to reconnect me. Why are you trying to reconnect me? Well, maybe. I'm looking at my, well, that's my phone service stuff is pretty low right now, so what's the deal? What's the deal? Watch, it'll give me a par on this hole. You got matched up? You didn't get out there? You must have hung up. And I won't be surprised if every time they've ever done an update here, I got 2 bitches. Number one, every time they've done an update, there's always some kind of issue afterwards, and they always do these updates 5 seconds before the tournament starts. Because they did it late last night, and then the tournament started, and it was like right before the tournament started when they did the upgrade. And the other thing is, think of every other app game that you play. Every other app game, whether it's freaking some Tetris or whatever kind of app game it is, and they do an update where the service is down for 30 minutes. When they're done, they come out with a big thing and said, hey, thanks for going through the update. We appreciate you as a player, and we really like it. And they give you something. Now, I will say Golf Clash doesn't do updates like that very often, where they're down for maintenance. But when they come back up, they don't give you shit. This game is all about giving you the stick, and they never give you the carrot. Now, I will give them props. They gave us one of those packs here in the last couple weeks where we got 20 balls, and they had some pretty decent balls in the one golden shot here just recently that were fairly easy to get some of those balls. But overall, and I think that ball that I'm looking at, that East Lake ball, that was a ball that they gave out on that tournament that you could get in the golden shot, and I got 9 of them. But come on, guys. I was actually playing last night and had to stop playing because there was maintenance. It was in my odd account. I had been rolling through accounts and I was playing a little bit and had to stop playing. And they don't give a shit. They don't care. I don't know how many whales are in this game, but let's say there was 1,000, and they're each spending $800 a month. Okay, that's a 10,000. That's 100,000 times 8. That's $800,000 a week, just in the whales, or a month, just in the whales. It's that 9.4, 9 point. Is that right? 800,000 plus 1.6. That's mean 9.6 million a year just off the whales. But when you add up the other 30,000 players that are spending $10 a month, that starts to add up as well. And you know they make more money than that. And it would cost them, though. Like, they could go to the bank and say, hey, if we gave away some of these virtual balls, we gave people a pack of Kingmakers, or we gave them 5 Berserkers, enough to play 1 round in a tournament, or 1 hole all five times in a tournament. If we gave them something like that, it would absolutely kill the whole game. We would be broke and destitute on the street. Do you not understand that if you give somebody a taste of your baklava, they go, holy shit, that stuff is awesome, and then they want to buy some? But for a lot of players that don't spend a lot of money, you don't give them any special balls, and they go, well, I'm not missing it. I play without special balls all the time. I never get any special balls. Got to give people a taste of it. You're like heroin junkies. I was on a grand jury one time for 3 weeks, and one of the cases came in that they got caught with like a pound of heroin, and another same day they got caught with like 3 pounds of marijuana, and the deal was is the person with the person came in with a pound of marijuana, and the other person came in with like 3 pounds of heroin, and the person with the marijuana was going to go to jail longer because it's a class 3 drug. And I was like, and they're like, yeah, it's the gateway drug. And I'm like, has it ever dawned on anybody here that like the whole reason it's a gateway drug is because you got to go to a drug dealer's house to get it? If you made it legal, you wouldn't have to go to a drug dealer's house, and it's just marijuana. Now it's legal. And heroin's not. So what's the deal there? Okay, come on. They're trying to reconnect me. They're not going to reconnect me. And I'm afraid that if I get out of this little zone, that I'm going to end up getting screwed. All right, let's get out. Do I have good bars? I'm like maxed out bars here. Like, what's the deal? What is the deal? What is the deal? I know they did an update one time, and the first day, they did an update on Sunday night, and then Monday morning I got up really early. It was like 5:30 in the morning, and I played, and I got on one of the par 3s, and I missed the shot and made my birdie and was ready to go on to the next hole, and then we replayed that hole again, and I didn't think anything about it. I still ended up with a birdie and went on to the next hole, and then later on there was another one of the par 3s that the same shit happened, and I got a birdie on it the first time, and I got a birdie on it the second time. But anybody that had qualified on that Monday got banned for the week. your account was locked out for the week. You couldn't play because of the glitch that they had in the game. And because a lot of people, I'm sure that there was not, I'm sure there was a bunch of people that went out and did make up. Okay. Might have gotten the hole-in-one. And it seemed like there was, maybe a year later, they had a similar type thing happen and a bunch of people got locked out of their account. All right, here we go. Quarterback, 1.7 per ring. 5 rings off instead of 3. Let's pull out a little bit more and see if we can give myself a little separation from that tree. See if they can get it. That's 2 and 2 right there. And their blue rings touching the sand. So they didn't pull the wind out, so it's going to push them out to their clear ring. And they hit it great to the inside. And they clipped the tree. Let's see if we can avoid that. Now they might roll. If they can catch the roll. Oh, I can't believe they didn't catch the roll there. They're just floating in the air. Floating. Okay, 5 rings off instead of 3. And let's put on 1 topspin. Where does that put me? I think 1 topspin. I'll put on all of the topspin. Let's see if that gets me there. That still might not be far enough out. 3.2 divided by 1.7, 1.88 rings. There's 1.88, almost 2. Max curl. Oh, and I hit it great on the outside, but that probably helped me. Let's see if I still clip the tree. The great on the outside put me on that trajectory if I would have hit that perfect, but I'm not sure I wouldn't have clipped the tree. I do think I need to bring out a bigger power ball just to get in front of that tree. And if you put on, so here's how it works. If you put on topspin, okay, side spin doesn't take effect until you hit the ground. So you got topspin on, and you got side spin on. When it hits the ground, it's gonna react A. But if you put backspin on it, and you've got side spin going off to the right or to the left hand side, when it hits the ground, that backspin catches and wants to pull the ball back, and the ball wants to jerk to the left, and it really jerks it to the left. Nice. Nice shot. Nice shot, my man. Nice shot. Okay, the Junglist. Put on 1 backspin. I need to hit that perfect. Oh, and I did not hit it perfect. Did not hit it perfect. That's a hole we definitely need to get as the week goes on. And it's all about with this account, I'm going to have to finagle it with the hitting that 175 ring great to the, so setting it up 5 rings off and then hitting it great this direction. When it comes around the bend, instead of coming down through here, it landed here, and then it came around the bend, and that's carried over down here into the bottom to get me into this spot. If I'd have hit that perfect though, there wasn't a lot of room next to that tree, even though I did pull out 2 rings. I think if I'd have hit it perfect, I might have cleared it, but if I'd have hit it great to the right, I definitely would have clipped that tree. I need to get just a titch farther forward. What I want is my bounce is here before the trees, and what I want is to get my bounce kind of like right along the edge of that tree, so I'm past the tree with the first bounce, so then any curl that comes through gives me separation. I'll keep working on that hole. Am I gonna make the round here? What do we got? Minus 12 is the deal. Is there some issue with hole number 9? This course is getting the minimum score on this course. I'm not sure I see the... Now this hole right here might change my tune. In the past, it is risky. It's tricky to get down in here, and the shot coming up here, you're usually short, and you got to run your ball guide through to the... But with the new pin placement, this shot down here doesn't work. We really want to hit over here. And this is another one of those holes that we may need to bring out a bigger ball in order to really... You want to... Obviously, the farther forward you can get. I think most people you're going to see this week are going to end up somewhere in this area, and that does include the sand. You're going to see a lot of people getting the sand here. You really want to kind of clear these shadows and get into this open area here, and then you got a nice straight up shot coming to the cup. This isn't a bad hole to bring out when you've got lower developed stuff. It wouldn't be a bad hole to bring out the big dog. It does hit a little bit further and has more topspin, but the ball guide blows, but that's kind of fixable. Let's set up another bag here. Big dog, I got that bag set up. Because unless I can really get out there, this would be a hole right here if you've got lower developed stuff. Once again, bringing out a bigger ball could really, really help you. We'll see what we can get done with a Titan. Let's practice this hole one time. I haven't played this hole with this account, so let's go in and practice this hole. Practice it one time. See what our options are for the drive. The other thing, this is once again why I'm missing a big topper. A big topper is good because you could start off on this side right here and run it out with your topspin. But with the extra mile, you really need to get to the other side. And I think even with my upper developed count, if you've got... It's hard to get to the other side unless you bring out a bigger ball. With a 3-power ball, I don't think I can make it. I'm going to just lay it up. I'm going to check out and see what kind of... Because I think on headwind days, even a power 5 ball might not help this account. We'll see. I could be wrong. It's really, really risky. Because here's the thing, if you hit down in there and you don't make it, you're in a spot of bother. You're going to put some curl on it, or you're going to just let the wind push you over there. I got you. You're letting the wind push you over there. We didn't adjust for the wind. We just let the wind push us over. Perfect. And you're going to get a good opportunity to see what that shot looks like, and it is not as good as it is. See the big topper, I could come up to this area right here and really try and get the run at it. You really kind of want to get past these trees right here and get out into this area, but I don't think I can get out that far. And there's no overpowering it to get it up there. 4-5. 4-5, that's a ring and a half. I can't put the distance back on it, so I am going to lean just a little bit to the right. Hitting it perfect. And I took the wind out, but you can see how far the wind pushed me up there. I had quite a bit of room, but the wind did push me up. I'd have to bring out a bigger power ball. I really want to see what this second shot looks like because I don't think this is going to be a huge Albie opportunity, and if I can just come out here and just play fairway to green, and in this case fairway to green, and just play it up, it'll be good. was going to switch bags and make sure I had that big dog in my bag, but I think I have the Viper. I can't remember if I changed bags or not. The big dog. I do have the Viper. And that terrain there sucks. Let's get it centered up so we're in the absolute center. One top spin. 3.2, it's 1.9 per ring. So 3.2 divided by 1.9. Hey, it's 168. Just hit it perfect. Just try and get on the green. It will roll back down there. There's a big ass backboard here, so ooh, rolled a little. You see how it's bold right there, but it seems like it's flat down there where my first bounce was at, and I'm surprised at how much it was making the ball trajectory change. Usually that happens when you're in a washout like this, where you're on one side and it's making it go this way, and you're on the other side and it's making it go this way. It looked like it was pretty flat. I think that this is just going to be a don't do anything heroic. Just get over there. Just lay it up, get over there and get your birdie or your eagle and move along, little doggy. Possibly on a headwind day because of where I had to set up on the other side. I did have a little bit of room in front of me. We might have to bring out a little bit bigger ball, but I think that area is going to be just trying to go up there and get an eagle and not try and be heroic. Right. Let's see. Let's see, did I like or dislike that second shot? Where I was at there, I kind of liked having the extra ball guide, and the distance wasn't too big of an issue. I think the only response to that would be once again bringing out a bigger ball, and I'm gonna stick with the Titan, the king of balls. That drive could get your ass in trouble if you're right up against the thing and you're not trying to overpower it over. If you don't make a good wind adjustment, it is carrying it quite a bit more. It's 2.6 divided by 3. Now I'm 2 rings off. It's 0.86 of a ring. I'm going to do 1 whole ring. And let's see how close that hits there. No overpower. Hitting it perfect. See how close it hits right here. And that was pretty good. I don't want to press my luck there because you don't want to end up, if you end up with even with an upper developed account, you end up in that area, you are screwed. If I get a little teeny bit more distance, it's downhill and it'll roll. You can carry that speed off from where I'm at. I'm right in front of the bowl. And so, like, I'm right here and it's starting to roll downhill and it all kind of runs down into this area. If I could get just a little teeny bit more. This is where a topspin boost ball might come in handy. In the sand. So it's 3 divided by 1.9, 1.6 rings. 1.6 rings. There's the 6. There's the 1.6. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. I think I did one topspin. I could probably do a half a topspin. The whole goal here is I'm not shooting for Albie. I'm just trying to get up on the green and secure my eagle and move the hell along. This is a hole right here with lower level stuff that you can get in big ass trouble in a real big hurry. Because it's so easy to end up, and that happens so often. You'll see that as you play this game more. You'll see people are in the sand, they go to the sand. They're in the rough, they go to the rough. They're in the sand, they go to the rough. They're in the rough, they go to the sand. And what we don't want to do is come on a hole like this, which is a low percentage Albie to begin with, even with upper developed stuff. And you got a much better shot with upper developed stuff because you can get way in the hell down there on the drive, where you have a straight up shot where you're stopping like right in this area and just trying to run it to the cup. But this is such an easy hole to come out with the best of intentions and end up with a freaking par or a birdie. Oh, they almost, oh, that was so close. That was so close. Good luck in the tournament. Good luck in the tournament. All right, just a minus 12. Just those 2 par 4s. I'm gonna continue to work on those because I think that if I play smart and just go out and play the course and just play smart and not try and get too aggressive, except on those 2 par 4s, that is going to be big. And those holes are definitely makeable, even with this account. Now, I may have to pull out a little bit better stuff to help complement my clubs, enhance my clubs a little bit, but there's definitely the opportunity on those holes to pick up 2 shots, and that would be big with this account, because if you could come in with a 28, that would be big, big. All right, thanks for watching. Hopefully everybody has a great week, and hopefully I helped you out with something today, or at least you got to look at it. Let me know in the comments. If you have any questions or want me to do something, just leave me a message, and I will see if I can do it. Stay safe, have fun, and I will catch you on the next one. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe. If you like the video, hit the like and ring the bell for notifications.